So, alright folks, what I want to show you next is how I would make a large platter, whether that would be a bowl or a plate, whatever you want to call it. And this is my way. It does not mean it's the right way, but it's how I do it. So the first thing I'll do is I'd probably have 10, 12, 15 pounds. I don't know what this is. I grabbed a large lump of clay. And it's pretty squarey, which isn't so good. So the first thing I'll do, put it down in the middle there. And I want to seal it down. So I'm going to just slap it into place. And just do this for a little bit till it kind of gets round and in place. Once that's pretty good, and I'll cement that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring it on up. So it's tricky to use this much. My keys are is I like to scoop from underneath here. This grabs that clay, and then I'm just smushing in at the same time. So I'm squeezing in and bring it on up. I want to be careful of that. See that right there? That's starting to make a hole in the top. Be careful of that. I don't want to put any air in here. So I'm going to open that just a little bit and then push it in. Open that and then push it in. So I also want to make sure I don't fold any air down here. So I scoop it up. And then I push it down. Then I scoop it up. Then I push it down. Let's keep repeating that process till I get it pretty much centered. And push it down. Scoop it up. So when I get out to here, now when I push it down, I want to start a little bit more in the center. I'm going to be leaning my fist down and pulling back. At the same time, I'm going to be pressing here on this edge. I'm going to be pushing down here and I'm going to pull my hand back. Both kind of at the same time, but I'm keeping my body locked in. I'm pushing down and I'm pushing down. Pushing down to my left and pushing down to my right. Out here, it's a little bumpy. You can see it kind of look, see how my finger's bouncing? I'm going to clean that off. Wet that down. Push down in the center. Pull it back towards my hand. Keep pressure out here. Push it down. Push it down. And now I want to check to see how deep is it in the middle. I think I've probably gone far enough. I doubt I want to go any lower. So the way I check that is I get my needle tool, clean it off a little bit, stop the wheel, push it down, and check and see. So if I look right here, it went to about there. I think that's plenty. That's going to leave me thickness to be able to trim the foot and also not make it so thin that it's going to collapse. So I'll have a little bit of both. So I call that good. So now I want to bring this clay out. And like I said, I'm making a bowl slash platter. I want to get out as far as I can on the side of the bat, but yet I still want to bring out clay. So I'm going to hold steady here with this hand. I'm going to put my hand here on the inside. I'm going to pull this clay out towards my outside hand. Slightly coming up as I do this. Now slowly push this back. And now what I'm doing is I'm compressing the bottom. So I want to make sure that I compress. So I'll compress down. And I bring out. Compress down. It's really repetitive. Like it's pouring but I do it anyways. It's boring, but I do it anyways. So I do that. So now I want to pull this up a little bit. So I'm going to hold steady. I'm going to pull this hand this way. I'm going to lift up with this hand. I want to have plenty of water in this sponge. So that way if I was to squeeze, look, water comes out because I don't want things to get too dry. And with my technique, I often get a little bit dry. And so I'm going to put my hand here underneath. I'm going to bring my hands out. I'm going to squeeze slowly. I want to make sure I don't squeeze faster than the thing is going around. And I slowly lift. When I get up near the top up here, slowly let go. Hands down, and then I'm going to compress the rim. And then I'm going to do that one more time. Go out here. I hold. Compress. And then I slowly lift. I don't want to go faster than the thing is going around. And I slowly let go. And now I'll call that good. So if you look right now, I kind of have like a very bowlish shape, but remember I want to do a platter also. So I get my rib. Take this. I'm going to use the bowl side of the platter, this side. I'm going to hold out here so I don't lose pressure. I don't want to go any faster than I'm going. I'm just going to compress this down. And I want to take my time as I'm compressing to slowly move to the outside. And then I'll slowly let go. Remove that clay. Keeping my hand out here for strength. Give it support. You always want to be there for somebody. Give them support when they need it. Don't leave them. This is like a good friend. It's support. You don't want to squeeze the life out of your friend. That's not good. You want to keep some life in them. And you go out here and you hold on. You slowly, notice how I'm slowly leaning it down, not fast. I'm taking my time here. I'm not rushing into it. I'm slowly leaning this down. If I feel like it's too hectic, I can slow the wheel down. That's why I personally always keep my foot on the gas pedal. Now I'm starting to lose a little bit of space underneath here, so it's getting wide. And I know I'm not using a lot of water at this point, so this is when I'm going to remove the, whatever this is called, the basin. Hopefully I can do this without destroying my piece here. I'm going to remove this part of the basin. Back to this. Back to this. Back in. Go back to this. And now you can see that angle underneath. You can see the angle I have up top. Everything's exposed now. There's no more secrets. This is for real. So as I said before, this is a bowl slash platter. So right now it's still quite bowlish. There's nothing wrong with that. That's absolutely fine. So now if I want to turn this more into a plate or platterish, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch sides now. And I'm going to actually use this end right here to actually go in and flatten this out. So it's going to get a little gougy, so I want to be careful of that, but let's see what happens. So if I hold this here, I'm giving it support. When it starts to get a little bit rippy, take that off. Rippy is a technical term. A lot of people get tested on that. It's like, what's rippy mean? That's what rippy is. And I'm going to clean this up, this little edge here, with my sponge. Put this up here. And press the outside. Last thing I want to do is now go back in with my rib. Clean up anything that I left over in here. And that's good for me. That's what I like for my platter. When I take this off, I'm going to use my wire tool, which is right down here. Hopefully I don't put my knee into this as I'm making these mistakes. Get my wire tool, I want to hold on tight. I'm going to go underneath. I want to make sure it's sitting on this bat. Put one hand lower, one hand above, spin the wheel. Keeping it tight. Go all the way underneath. I want to make sure I clear the whole thing before I come up. And my hands underneath here. And lift it up. And that right there is my platter.